Namaskaram. We are continuing in Mahabharata with Arjuna's journey to heaven and in heaven. So first, the Arjuna's journey to heaven, part of which we have covered, but there are parts which we have left out. So I thought it important that we go through it once again, even though there might be some repetitions. So first, Matali arrives to Himalayas where Arjuna did meditation on Shiva, got blessing from Shiva, and Arjuna was blessed by the 4 Lokapalas, starting with Indra. Indra said he would invite him to heaven. Other Lokapalas like Yama, Varuna and Kubera, they gave Arjuna their own special weapons like Danda from Yama, Pasha from Varuna and Antardhana from Kubera. And soon Matali arrived with Indra's chariot. There itself, there is a description of Indra's chariot coming. It says, it roars like thunder and flashes like lightning. If an aircraft, which may look like the aircraft of today or may not, but it functions like a modern aircraft in that it is capable of traveling very high in heaven. And it has to do that. It must produce some sound because it is traveling through air with speed. And it must emit some light also. So the description says it is driven by 1,000 horses. May not be physically 1,000 horses, but it had the power of a large number of horses driving. What I want to convey is that this is something written a few thousand years ago. Mahabharata, the war took place just before the beginning of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga started 5,300 years ago or something like that. So something which happened that time is what we are reading about. And the description of a flying vehicle, whether it actually flew or not, but the description is fairly accurate. That's what I wanted to convey. Then it says it was spitting poisonous breath as though from great serpents. Serpents spitting their venomous breath. That also is very close to the gases emitting from a modern jet. And it was flying Indra's flag, the Vaijayanti. Matali was the driver, and last day we discussed the idea where heaven could be. And one possibility is that it is further north, how high above Himalayas or some such mountain. The higher you go, the higher plane, like Atala, Vitala, sorry. Bhuva, Sva, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. These are the 7 worlds above. And soon Arjuna reached Amaravati, which is a city of Indra. And there he saw an assembly hall where Indra was seated. It was easy for Arjuna to spot Indra because he said to have 1,000 eyes. There again, Indra got 1,000 eyes as a result of a curse from sage Agastya. That story some other time. But the 1,000 eyes tells that Indra could be a symbolic expression for the world with all the stars. Indra's function is to shower rains, to produce thunder and lightning. All that makes one think about the world and its atmosphere. Okay, and then Arjuna saw Indra seated with other gods. It says in Amaravati there were, their gardens which had very rare flowers like Saugandhika. There is a story in Bharata, the Kalyana Saugandhikam, which will come soon. There again, Bhima going in search of the flower on behalf of Draupadi. He doesn't fly to outer sky, but he climbs the Himalayas and reaches where the Saugandhika flower was. The heaven was inhabited by Apsaras and Siddha, Charanas, Gandharvas, etc. It says that everyone in heaven performed meditation regularly and performed homas. It was not accessible to any sinner. Only people who had enough merit could reach heaven. And Arjuna could see aircrafts flying out and flying in all the time. And there were shining stars everywhere. Other living beings were Sadhyas, Vishvedevas, Marut, Aditya, Vasu and Rudra. I am just giving these names so that we are familiar. These names appear and reappear in the Puranas. And there were also Apsaras and Gandharvas. One of the Gandharvas is called Ha Ha Hu Hu. That's a very special name. He is said to be the first Gandharva. The Amarakosha, the Sanskrit dictionary says Ha Ha Hu Hu Cha Evam Adya Gandharva Tridivaukasam. In heaven, Ha Ha Hu Hu were the first Gandharvas. And they were, Arjuna could see them. Next to Indra, of course, Indrani was there. And there was someone holding the umbrella, chhatra. And there were two who were swinging the chamara, the something made of the chamara animal's tail, which is very fluffy with hair, and that is something used in elephant festivals. One sitting behind the umbrella, holding the peacock feathers, something which is decorated peacock feathers, and in front people swinging the chamara. Arjuna then got down from the chariot, went to Indra and bowed down before him. Indra held Arjuna by the hand and led him to his own throne and gave him half the seat. It is called Ardhasana, half the throne. To very special guests, the half throne is offered, and which is considered a very, way of recognition. And Arjuna received the Ardhasana from Indra. And Indra introduced him to people who were seated around. Oh, this is my son Arjuna. He is one of the Pandavas. He is one of the greatest warriors on earth. He has come on my invitation. And Indra soon gave Arjuna the Indra's special weapon, the what is it called? Indra's, like Pashupata for Shiva, it is, what is it called? The Vajrayudha. Vajrayudha, like Pashupata, is a weapon which has no guard against. It is sure to kill the enemy, Vajrayudha. And Indra gave him the key words, the mantras for Vajrayudha, and other weapons also. And Arjuna, in the next days to follow, Arjuna practiced the mantras and practiced the use of these weapons. Of course, he couldn't have used against somebody. And Indra called Chitrasena, who was one of the Gandharvas, and introduced Arjuna to him, and asked Chitrasena to introduce Arjuna to other people in heaven. And during all this time, there were Gandharvas who were singing and Apsara who were dancing. And it looked